am Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is a multi-talented actress who has starred in some of our favorite films like Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2 and This Christmas. And she's here today to talk about a must-see movie, which is Bishop T.D. Jakes' Woman Thou Art Loosed on the Seventh Day, out on DVD and Blu-ray today. Help me welcome the lovely Sharon Leal to the show. How you doing, Sharon?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Now, I saw the movie Woman Thou Art Loosed on the Seventh Day. I didn't know what to expect, but a sister was so surprised. It was a far cry from the first one. I left out of there, right? I had to call Nima Barnett. I was like, girl, this movie is a must-see for everybody.
Right. And let's talk about it, right? I don't think a lot of people realize exactly what it is, and it is a bit of a departure, obviously a lot like the first one in the sense of some of the tones or the themes, but it definitely is doing its own thing for sure. Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that was great about the movie, Sharon, there were so many life experiences in there, and there was one part in there that I don't want to give a whole lot of the movie away, but I had just experienced that in my family the week before. Dealing with the with the online predators. I set up in the theater. I'm like, so many people need to realize when their children are online, you don't know who they're talking to. And I had that experience, and I was steaming because it was an adult that got in contact with my daughter on one of those little gaming websites that kids go into. So, yes, so I want you to kind of talk about the movie and tell us about the character and who do you play?
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, first of all, just to kind of touch upon what you were just talking about, I mean, it's wonderful when there's a film that can bring awareness to something, something very serious, and I think that Nima Barnett was very, very careful, and it was a big thing for her to do that, to spread awareness about, the fact that there are so many African American children who are kidnapped and who don't necessarily get their stories on the air and get the kind of newsworthy sort of feeds where people are actually hearing about them, and how many children go unaccounted for, or where they don't even have a format to where people actually know that it's going on. But the movie was really quite an experience for me. I play Carrie Ames, who is the wife of David Ames, played by Blair Underwood, and we are a middle-class couple who have this seemingly perfect life, and once our daughter is abducted, everything sort of falls apart, and they're faced with a lot of secrets and things that come out, and so it's a fast-paced, action-packed kind of ride that you go through from the time that the daughter's taken away until the end. So we're on this big hunt for the child, and I really encourage people to go see it if they haven't seen it. But proud of this film and everybody that's involved. Pam Grier, obviously, Blair Underwood, Nicole Bahari. I mean, it's a great cast and a bit of a surprise. So many people say that they're surprised after they see it, that they really didn't fully understand what kind of film it was going to be.
It took you on a roller coaster ride. When you say surprises, it was truly a suspense thriller that had you up from beginning to end. There was no boring part, so you kind of get bored and like, okay, what's coming next? It kept you watching because you were trying to see what was next, the turns that it took with you, with Blair at the end. I was like, no, I didn't see any of that coming. It was just great how Nima put that film together. Now, I know you worked with Blair Underwood before on LAX. Before this movie. Now, is that how you both developed such great chemistry, because you had worked together before?
Well, I think it helped. It's always wonderful when you work with someone and you get the chance to work with them again, because there is this familiarity that is there, and so we definitely had that, and also because I've known Blair over the years, just through the community, we had a familiarity and a mutual respect. I think I've always respected him, and so it was great to serve. And therefore, when we started working together, it was just sort of seamless and easy, and we've always had that kind of chemistry, so we were lucky. And we were really excited to find another project that we could sink our teeth into and work together on.
Yeah, you did a great job. For this movie, what was the message that everybody wanted people to walk away with? So when people go get it on DVD, as you see me get it on DVD, Blu-ray, iTunes, make sure you watch the movie. What is the message you want people to take away from this film?
Well, I think it really is a movie that explores the strength and character of a human being, that someone can go through unthinkable challenges and an experience that really puts their faith to test, and it is a bit of an exploration of just how strong we are as people. It questions raises questions about forgiveness. Obviously, it touches on very, very serious subject matter like drug abuse and incest and alcoholism and infidelity. I mean, it just sort of runs the gamut of things to kind of go through, and it really leaves you asking a lot of questions, and it's a hopeful kind of story. So, Carrie is somebody who started out in not so wonderful of a circumstance, and really picked herself up and tried to change her life, but she did it by sort of denying some of the things that happened to her instead of accepting who she was and truly making a change and being forthright about, some of the terrible experiences that she had gone through. And so it was like she couldn't run away from who she was. And that's the big, I think that's a big thing that people can also feel kindred to in just sort of accepting mistakes that maybe you've made in your life, and how do you pick yourself back up and make changes. I think that's a wonderful message. So, and obviously the message of female strength and the strength of a couple in the end.
Yeah, and that is so true. Just how love can cover a multitude of sins, and forgiveness was truly a powerful message in this film as well. Now, Sharon, I was really surprised to learn that your beautiful exotic look came from your mom. Your mom's Filipino. I had no idea. Now,
I think a lot of people don't know that. Yes.
So are a lot of people surprised when they hear that you are biracial?
I think so. I think some people, it's sort of split down the middle. Some people see it right away and say, I know there's, I see a little Asian in you, or they just go, aha, I knew it, I knew. Other people really don't know, and like yourself, they're surprised to hear it. But yeah, my mother came to the States from the Philippines. She grew up there, and my father is black, and so but it's wonderful to to have something. I mean, it's an interesting background, and I'm proud of it. But yeah, it's interesting who actually sees it and who doesn't.
Right, because I could tell you it was something there, but I just would have never known it was that close. Your mom, I probably would say maybe a grandparent or great grandparent. So yeah, but just beautiful. Mm-hmm. Sharon, you've been acting for quite some time. When I was reading your bio, I mean, from theater to Broadway to soaps, when did your acting career actually begin?
Well, I started off in theater. I went to performing arts high school, and so I did a lot of show choir as a kid and a lot of community theater, and so my big dream was to do Broadway, and that's sort of how it started. It started with that initial dream of just trying to make it professionally in musical theater. So right out of high school, I began working professionally in regional theater, and then I went to Broadway and did a couple of shows, and then I did a soap. It was my first TV thing, and then I moved to LA and was fortunate enough to just continue with TV and then film. So, it's been an interesting journey. I mean, I think the wonderful thing is that there has been, albeit modest at times, a kind of momentum, and just to kind of go from one thing to the next is really the objective. And I'm so fortunate that I've been able to do that and work with so many amazing people, and I really love what I do, and of course I love the fans that come out and support and are so enthusiastic about the stuff that I'm in. It means everything.
Because, I mean, you're such a great actress, and then to come to find out that you also produced your own stage play, Stormy Weather, in which you starred as the legendary Lena Horne. What was it about her life that you admired and that you wanted to bring into the stage?
Oh, wow. Well, gosh. I mean, I think all of us, especially as a black girl growing up, we all had like a catalog of women that really make such an impact and an imprint on our psyche. And Lena Horne was absolutely the number one for me. One of those people, along with Josephine Baker and Diana Ross and there's so many people, Tina Turner. There's just people, and I think it really begins with not unlike what's happening with Michelle Obama and President Obama. It's really about having a vision of yourself, being able to look at someone and say, wow, there's something similar there. I really can relate to that, which then, directly makes you hopeful as a child, because I think, it's not a good thing when kids, don't see themselves within the world and on stage, somewhere where they can look up to somebody and say, I really feel like they're a lot like me, or there's something to them that speaks to me. And I think Lena Horne was that for me initially. She just sort of embodied so many things. I mean, from the moment I saw her on screen, I just thought, who is that? So she was a big idol of mine. And so it really is just about, having someone that you can relate to and that you really identify with.
And that is so true, because I remember her fondly from the Wiz, as a kid, and she was the most beautiful angel. And then going back and watching some of her, old films and watching her sing, that lady, if I didn't take anything away from Lena Horne, I took away class.
I was just going to say that.
She was so classy. She was truly a lady. So when I think of Lena Horne, I just think of just top-notch class.
Absolutely. Me too.
Now, you starred in a movie that now, for me, every holiday season, you have to watch this movie, This Christmas. Did you ever think that this Christmas was going to be a part of everybody's household for the holidays? Tell us about that movie and how did you land that role?
Oh, great. Yeah, I really hope so. I was so excited about that movie, particularly because I felt like we needed a Black, holiday film. Mm-hmm. And I happen to be a bit of a sucker for holiday films. I love Christmas and I love, the spirit of the holidays. And I just thought, wow, how great to have a piece of work with so many of us. That's an all-star cast, Regina King and Mekhi Phifer, Lauren London, Columbus Short, Idris Elba. I mean, it's just like everybody's in it. And it was a real party, going into it. And I think I was one of the last people cast in that film. And from the moment I got on set, it was like I'd known them all my life. We had an immediate chemistry, and we shot that film not during Christmas. That was very fun. I think it was in January after Christmas. We shot it, and we just had a grand old time. And it really was important for all of us to feel like, wow, this is hopefully one of those films that people can put in every year to kind of get into the holiday spirit. So that's a great one. It's one of my favorites.
And I think the chemistry you all had, because it was such a great chemistry during the holiday season, we all feel that. And I think that's why it's one of those good, warm movies, because you feel the chemistry, and that's the love everybody want to have during the holidays. And I think that's what make that movie so special.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Now, you're famous, girl, for Why Did I Get Married? Woohoo! 1 and 2. 1 and 2, being the wife of Mr. Tyler Perry. Now, your relationship with Tyler Perry was so interesting. It makes everybody in theater say, girl, why did you get married? Really? Now why?
I know.
Now,
Jesus, but Diane is interesting, that's for sure.
Very much so. How did you end up being cast for that movie? Did you already know Tyler and he just knew right off he wanted you as his wife, or did you have to audition?
I auditioned for it. I think they were about to begin shooting in Atlanta, which I'm here in Atlanta now, and I was in LA, and I believe I had just come off of something, and I got the call to put myself on tape in LA for Tyler. I put myself on tape, and then the next day I got a phone call saying Tyler wants to see you in person, meet you and read with you. And so I flew to Atlanta and read with him, and we just hit it off, and it all worked out. So that was a great thing. But no, I actually had to audition for that, and it was that again was a cast where we had amazing chemistry, and we all just got along so well. And because that movie, both movies are about the couples go on some kind of a trip. the first one being out in the snow. I mean, we really went to the snow. We hung out. We had stayed in these cabins, and we really bonded as a cast. And both of those movies, installments of those movies, were fantastic for my career and for my visibility. And so I have a tremendous amount of gratitude to Tyler for putting me on like that. It was great.
Now, the role that you played, do you ever find people coming to you saying that they can identify with your character?
Absolutely. I mean, I find that, look, Diane is an extreme version of the career woman. I think that it was important. There's definitely career women who said, wow, that role really spoke to me. I'm the same way. I was really like, wow, or, my best friend is just like that, or I have an auntie that's just like that. I mean, I think there was a character in those movies that everybody sort of, you could pick one person and say that's more like me. And, and there were other people that were kind of angry, like, whoa, Diane's so cold. How could she tie her tubes? And how could she be so selfish? And, so you get people who say, girl, that was me. And you get people that are angry, not realizing that, hey, I was just playing a role.
Right.
Don't get mad at me. But, that's what's wonderful is, the fact that that people respond to these characters, whether good or bad or confused or, there's a response. There was a direct sort of response from the audience, and I think people really, really took to the first one, which is why he did the second. And, it was a real fun movie.
Now, because of the relationships that you build on the set, do they also carry over after everything is wrapped? Do you still keep in contact with your castmates and still keep that close friendship and bond with them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the wonderful, wonderful perks of this business, particularly, the business involving African-American actors, because we just sort of, we just know who everybody is, and we are very familial, and we like to gather together and support each other. It's a wonderful community, and that's been a great thing that I don't think I really realized when I began my career. All the wonderful friends and true friends that I've made just because I happen to do a film or a TV show, and we really do stay in touch, and we see each other at other things. Once in a while, we'll work on something else, and it's really cool. That's a real cool aspect of what it is that we do, because you get to work with people that you respect and you admire so much, and in the end, you create real lasting bonds. And so I feel that way about both of those movies, This Christmas and Why Did I Get Married. I've made wonderful, wonderful friends through those experiences.
Is there any one castmate that you remain the closest to out of all the movies you've done?
I'm really close with Tasha Smith. Tasha and I are like, that's my homegirl.
I love
her. And I just, there's just something about her, and we just really, really took to each other, and we're very close. And I just spoke to her yesterday. I mean, we go to brunch. We've gone to church together. I talk to her all the time. We're always, leaning on each other and talking about what's going on. And so I'm really close with her. And then, I'm working with Malcolm Jamal Warner right now. I'm doing Read Between the Lines here in Atlanta. And so, Regina King was out here directing something. I love Regina King from This Christmas. And Columbus Short and I have become really close, and our kids, I have a little boy, 11-year-old, and he has a son just a couple years younger, and they're very close and hang out. So, there's a few people that I probably stay more in touch with, but it's terrific that not only are these people phenomenally talented, but they're wonderful, wonderful friends.
Wow. Because you were also in Dreamgirls with Jennifer Hudson and Beyonce Knowles. And isn't it amazing how much weight Jennifer has lost? She just looks absolutely fabulous.
She sure was. Jennifer, I know. When I think back to that particular movie, well, first of all, I was beyond excited, because that was my first feature. And I was just surrounded by all these heavy hitters, just amazing, amazing talent. And people that, literally I was just like, walk into the room and my jaw, I'm just trying to keep it together, like I can't believe it. This just worked. I can't, oh my God, here comes Beyonce. Oh my, it's just like an overload of talent and excitement. And Jennifer Hudson, my goodness, she had so much pressure because she had never done anything, and she's working with all these people. And I remember our first rehearsal when we were just by the piano sort of running through the music, and when she opened her mouth and started to sing and the walls started shaking, I was like, I think they cast a winner here. I think we got something really incredible, but the kind of grace and just steadfast sort of discipline and the way she kept her nerves in check with all of that pressure and feeling, those just tremendous shoes with, the only kind of thing that we knew of was Jennifer Holliday, and those are huge shoes to fill vocally and just, that imagery of just the original Dreamgirls, and how she just knocked that out of the park. I mean, that is just incredible. It was really wonderful to witness that, and then to just see her career soar the way that it has is incredibly inspiring, and yeah, it's amazing. I mean, talk about dreams coming true, it's incredible seeing where she is now.
And that is so true. I think that move is so befitting for her. Like you said, dreams coming true, truly a dream girl and what God has done in her life. But you had the awesome opportunity to work with Bernie Mac in one of his last films. What was it like working with him in The Soul Man?
It was incredible. It was, Bernie Mac was, the thing that I remember about Bernie the most is his undying gratitude and awareness of his fans. I think he was somebody who would always say that, that he had to work harder than the average. Well, what he would say, I had to work harder than the average bear. He would, I work harder, and I always have to remind people what I can do. For some reason, it was a slow, kind of steady climb to the kind of success that he finally reached, towards the end there, and I can identify with that because I think some people shoot straight up and some people just sort of slowly, move forward. I think that one of the upsides of that is the fact that you really have the capacity to stay grounded. You're not so you're not thrusted to the point where you're not living in the world just kind of struggling. I think that struggle keeps you humble and keeps you grounded. And when we were out in Memphis, it didn't matter who it was. We'd be in the middle of the street. I mean, he would stop and sign every autograph. And he pulled me aside, and we had talks. And he just, gave me a lot of pep talks and life lessons, and particularly about how to sort of navigate through the business and how to keep your head on straight. And so, it was one film, but what an incredible impact he made, just by example, And I think about him every once in a while and just get so sad because he was really incredible. He had the most incredible smile, and he was just the funniest guy I've ever been in contact with, and his energy and spirit was just really infectious and pretty special.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. But now I have an audience. I have an audience question from a listener. Her name is Norma Jarrett, listening from Houston, Texas. And what she wants to know, what is your dream role?
Oh gosh, somebody just asked me that yesterday. I don't know. I think the thing with me is I just like to be completely challenged with every role that comes around. The way that I pick roles or decide whether or not a role really speaks to me. It's not unlike turning on the radio. when you go through the stations and you either like what you hear and you want to dance to it, or you kind of move on, right? Mm-hmm. So I just I like interesting characters, and I like the idea of changing from one character to the next. I for some reason, just recently, I was thinking it would be really cool to play an African character, or a character that's not American, something with an accent, somebody from a completely different walk of life. I think that would be really, really challenging. I don't have one particular person or story in mind, but I think, as far away from myself would be a dream role. If I could really tackle that would be incredible.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for answering that question. And if you had the opportunity to work with anyone, who would you want to work with?
Who would I want to work with? Well, I love Meryl Streep. Everybody's like, get in line. Everybody loves her. I would also, Viola Davis is a huge inspiration for me. I just pray that somewhere down the line there's something that I could actually, I would love to work with her. She's just incredible to me. She's just so soulful, and the depth of her emotion, and she can just stand there and stare, and you just feel all kinds of things. I mean, she's just got this presence that I think is just spectacular, and I would love to work with her. Who else? Gosh, there's so many people. I mean, the thing is when I get when I get jobs, I mean, I'm always sort of exposed to just incredible talent, and you can always learn from everybody, anybody that you have the fortune to work with. I mean, everybody has a sort of different approach to the work, and so I welcome anybody really. But I'd say Viola's probably an immediate answer. I think I'd say Viola Davis.
Wow, thank you. And I know you're working on right now, Read Between the Lines. Are you working on any other new projects?
I'm doing. Let's see. Yes, so I'm a couple episodes of Read Between the Lines, and then I'm heading to New York to do a show called Person of Interest, CBS.
Yes.
Taraji Henson is on that. I'm excited about that. And, so we'll see what else is next. But those are the two things I guess people could look out for.
Person of Interest is a great show. If you have not seen Person of Interest, make sure you check that show out. I'm just talking to everybody if you have not seen it. Sharon, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and just sharing yourself with us today. It was truly a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, and thanks for all the wonderful work that you do, and your support is tremendous, and I love talking to you.
Thank you, and I just want to remind everyone to make sure you go and pick up Woman Thou Art Loose on the 7th Day on DVD, Blu-ray, and iTunes in stores near you right now. You can even go to your local Walmart. So again, thank you so much, Sharon. It was a pleasure.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.